Hey, Matt here. So let's talk about the Scrapeboard profile poster. So jumping in, this is the Create Forum Profiles tab here. In the forum accounts creation video, we created some forum accounts and activated them and got them all ready to go. So now here in the Create Forum Profiles, we can actually create some forum profiles with those accounts. So the first thing we need to do is load up our forum profiles. Now you can load up multiple ones and they will automatically rotate through them. And this profile that we're loading up here under the create account section, it's what we have, the information we have here. When we save those details off, those are the same details that we load up here under forum profiles, and it's going to use all this information, and your account's activated with this information, but it's going to take the rest of it, such as your homepage title and your homepage URL primarily is what we're focused on for a link, and create that and put that into the actual forum profile. So if we just go here to load profiles, and we can go here to the actual accounts profile, and we'll load up the red widget man one from just like back here, and that'll load up that information to post as a profile. Then we have the option here to use the link lock list. Now, by default, if I just leave this like it is, which is this, it's going to use red widgets as the anchor text, and then red widget man as the actual website. If I wanted to use different links, like say I want to use a site about cars or whatever, I can use the link lock list, and then I can select it here as a text file. And I don't have one, but basically it's just standard link lock format. If you were a Scrapebox user, it would be the same. So it would be just like this, www.cars.com, and then say we add a spin text, and then put in, red cars, blue cars, and I don't know, and a spin text on the end. And then I could put in one that's about whatever I wanted, grass, and then, so on and so forth. So what that does is, and then I would save this as a text file and I would load it here when it asks for it. What that does is that takes all your forum profiles. Let's talk about one. Takes this forum profile and it'll use these as links. So if I go back over here, whenever it creates the first forum profile, it's going to take this website and stick it here, essentially, and then one of these keywords and stick it here. So that forum profile is created with a homepage link, the link on the page as one of these. And the next forum it gets to, it's going to take this website and stick it here, and then one of these anchor texts here, well, in this case just green grass, and stick it here. Now this is very handy if you have, say, a list of 100 vBulletin forums that you have accounts activated on, and then you have a list of 100 Envision PowerBoard forums that you have accounts activated on. And say on the Envision PowerBoard ones you want to use these URLs, and then on the vBulletin ones you want to use different URLs. So you can do that, and you don't have to create a new one of these and go through and put all this information in for each individual run. I can create my however many of these that I have, and then I can use them over and over again, but generate different links and link it all in from this and just change the links whenever I want. So that's a super handy feature that saves me a lot of time if I'm creating a lot of individual profiles. And so then if I loaded up multiple ones, it would just sort through and randomize each one of these and then each one of the URLs if I was using the link lock. Since I'm not, we're just going to leave that like it is. Of course, if we wanted to clear the list, we could, or remove individual selected entries, but we only have one. Down here is where we actually load up the accounts that are activated. And remember, a Scrapeboard account file is an SBACC file, so we're going to go import those. You can see it's only going to show up with these accounts. And so I'm going to go in here to my folder and bring that in. Now these are accounts that are already activated from the forum accounts section, and so we would just want to see if, and when we did these we set profiles to public, so we want to see if we can create a profile on these. So what I'm going to do is, I've already got my settings and connections set up here. You have the profile poster connection and then the timeout. And I just have them set at the defaults, which is fine. And there's not really any other settings that necessarily apply to the forum profiles that aren't already on this page. One quick thing before we actually create these, if you say you only want the URL of your profile, so you kind of get when you create an actual forum account, you kind of get a mini profile is what I'm going to call it, because I don't know what the name of it is or if it has a name technically, but it's a little page like an About You page, and it has super basic information, just the information, just real basic what's needed to register. When I create an actual forum profile, that's going to kind of build out. So I got my name whenever that's currently setting on all these accounts, but it doesn't really have my home page or my MSN info, or necessarily have my avatar, or maybe not my date of birth. So when I create the forum profile, it's going to go and add all that information to the actual forum, and it can vary by forum, but generally you wouldn't have this information. And since we're probably after the link, that's the most important element, but then making it look real so it doesn't get deleted is also important. So if I only wanted to get the URL of my current account profile, I can check this box. And so if I only didn't want to actually add that information in now for whatever reason, then I can do that. So let's go ahead and post the forum profiles, and we'll let it run through here and see what's happened. So first it reads it, then like say this one, unable to log into account. It's been a few days since I did the forum accounts video on this particular run, so it may have, the account may have expired or something happened there, and so all the complete ones obviously are complete, and then it's busy posting, unable to retrieve the profile post, that sort of thing. You can see it's going pretty successful after having had a several day delay, and it's good sometimes to check that out, because as with anything, an administrator can come through and actually manually delete your account or your profile or that sort of thing, especially if it looks spammy. That's why it's important when you create the profiles to put in information and make it look as normal as possible. And the easiest way to figure that out is to go to some forums, Google some forums, and go through and look at people's profiles page and find out what looks normal and natural, and when you build your profiles, do that. And so we can see all these ones here are completed, and then I have the option to export. A couple of different nice export options. I can just export the actual profile URLs as a text file if I wanted to. I could export just the forum URL, so just the actual forum URL, not the URL where my profile is, which is handy if you want to go and register some more accounts under a different name with different links. I can also export all the entries as a CSV file if I want to go through there and look at everything. I can also export all accounts with profile URLs as a new SBACC file. Now this is particularly handy because, as you can see when we went through here, I waited a few days, and let's see, this one, 1, 2, 3, 4 looks like, for whatever reason, Scrapeboard could not post to the account for one reason or the other, whether it couldn't log in or couldn't retrieve the profile. So say I was working on a larger scale and I had 10,000 of these. I might have 100, I'm just picking numbers, but 100 of them that failed for whatever reason. So then I only have like 9,900, or if I was working on a much grander scale, like 100,000 or a million of these, obviously the numbers would be bigger. If I don't want to deal with these and waste my time on them, because I want to go ahead and create posts, and I only want to create posts on ones that are still active, then I can go ahead and export these as an accounts file that's active, and it's only active with the ones that we were able to put profiles on, and I get to ignore all the other ones. So because whenever you go to create posts, you're going to need an SBAAC file, and this will give you one that is just 100% of the ones you could create forum profiles on, so that's handy. Also the RSS export, if I wanted to throw these up on a website as an RSS XML feed, maybe to get them indexed and then submit them to Google or wherever, or for whatever purpose, I can set the title and description, the link in here, just like you would normally for an RSS XML feed, and then I can actually export them and throw them into a file there, and away we go. And so then I have my XML feed. Of course, I can remove all the failed entries, knocked out all those ones that didn't go through, and then clear the list, and we're back to square one. And that is how you create forum profiles.